Sti Gurubhyo Namaha children. Class, you are welcome for online class Academy Ekalaiva. Class 10, this is your first unit, is first flight and this is second part. In the first part we saw that the family of the young seagull was just flying and 24 hours he was not having any food. And some madness made him when his mother brought a piece of fish and just waiting near the edge for a moment. Then a monster terror seized him and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a moment. So here what had happened, it was out of madness, he dived at the fish. So a mother was having a fish in the beak and standing. This young seagull, out by seeing how it was very hunger, feeling very hunger, and that made him madness and died for the food. And it started with a loud scream. He fell outward and downward into the space. His mother had swooped upward as he passed beneath her. He heard the swish of her wings. So here the mother was just making him to lift him, and then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a moment. The next moment he felt his wings spread outward. The wind rushed against his breast feather, then under his stomach and against his wing. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. So now for one moment he was not hearing any sound. It was all of a sudden he was keeping quiet and he was very much trembled and he doesn't know what is happening. And next second he was just flapping his wings and he started flying. The wind rushed against his breast feather, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of the wings cutting through the air. So now we find that the tips of the wings were cutting through the air. So here it started flying and he's just out of danger, out of the fear, and he was 1 minute without knowing what is happening. And next second he started flapping his wing and it was just flying in the air. He was not falling headlong now, he was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid, he just felt a bit dizzy. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upward. So here for some time it was because of not eating, he was dizzy, and later he just flapped his wings and he started flying. He uttered a joyous scream and flapped them again. He soared higher, he raised his breast and banked against the wind. Ga, ga, ga. Go loha. So mother was making the sound and it was young seagull was making ga, ga sound. His mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. Then he saw his two brothers and sister flying around him, soaring and diving. So here when he started just flying, his mother came, his father came, his two brothers came and sister came, and all were just enjoying and they were feeling very happy that he learned to fly. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly and commenced to dive and soar, shirking and strilling. So then he was very happy in doing. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly and commenced to dive and soar and shaking and strilling. So he started learning all the techniques in flying and he was just doing. He was near the sea, now flying straight over it, facing out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him with little ridges moving over it. He turned his beak sideways and crowed amusedly. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on this green floor in front of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. his legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempt to rise again, flapping his wings, but he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise. Exhausted by the strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no further. So here it started learning how to flight, and it was just going and just sitting in the green water on the thing, and his belly was touching, and again he was having a fright and making a sound, and then it was a strange exercise for him. His feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched the thing. So he was very happy in learning, but hunger and tiredness made him. Even then he was just flying. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. So when he was covered and he was with a fear, he was staying away, nobody encouraged him. And once he started flying with a courage, and everyone was just offering a food, and see, he got him a scraps of dogfish. He had made his first flight. So he learned his first flight, and it was very nice. And in this lesson, what you're learning, you may feel something as a goal or achievement is very tough. Now, even as you were in 10th standard, you were just having a goal that you have to score a very good mark, and that is not fine for you, because it is a period called Corona, and you were just having online lessons and you were not able to perform well. So with all this struggle, without any fear, if you just putting your hard work and just having a first flight, and you can say, with this of discomfort I have learnt, so that will be a great thing for you. Now, a normal period scoring mark is something normal, and this is a very good not a comfortable time, and it is not a comfortable zone. Even then, if you're learning and putting your hard work and you're scoring mark, that is a challenge before you. Like a young seagull, you learn to listen, so you can do best of you, and you learning from the seagull, you must not be frightened for anything. You must take it everything as a challenge, and you can fight, have a nice flight like the young seagull, and it will be a very good hope for you, and you will be scoring a very good mark, and you will be putting your hard work. How it was just frightened and wasting the time, you must not do that. So from this lesson you have learned this, and I hope you understood the lesson and you enjoy the lesson, and you will be just remembering and recollecting your goal, and you will be achieving like this, and somebody will be awarding you later if you were like this young seagull. Okay children, we'll end up. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Thank you children, we'll meet you in the next class.